Guys, for 2025, I have decided to limit my luxury shopping list to 5 items. Is there anyone out there brave enough to embark on this adventure with me? Now, I know some of you guys are just here to find out what these 5 items are, so you can come at me if I fail to follow through. But first, I do have 2 unboxings to go along with what I am not prioritizing this year and why. And then we'll get into the 5 items that I am prioritizing and why. Why am I challenging myself this way? What fine print and exceptions will I allow? And what I hope this will accomplish. I'll leave timestamps below for each of these sections. But by the way, just because there's only 5 items on this list, no way means that 2025 is going to be a low buy year. Let's just say there are some high ticket holy grail items that I'll be prioritizing. Like, we ain't messing around in 2025. Welcome back to A Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. While I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a business professor, I would love to continue to grow this channel. So thank you for being here today. Okay, before I dive into what I plan to buy, let's just touch on what I will not be buying, and that's from 3 broad categories. First up, we've got designer makeup / skincare. Now, I have spent a pretty penny on Dior skincare in the past because I got sucked into their loyalty program. I've been a platinum member for a few years, but I'm over it. The program is no longer the same, and the freebies and gifts just aren't what they used to be. Plus, I've switched over to prescriptive skincare with active ingredients, and I now only use 2 products on my face, and my skin has never been better. Second is designer ready to wear. I've dabbled in this previously and I love the pieces I have, but I don't feel the need to add any more at the moment. Like, it was fun, but I'm good for 2025. And finally, designer footwear. I have essentially sold almost every single pair of designer shoes I own because, let's be honest, designer brands aren't really known for being innovative in the shoe department, especially when it comes to comfort, and life is too short to wear uncomfortable or impractical shoes, especially ones that cost a small fortune. Which brings me to 2 very exciting shoe unboxings. Now, I know Vivaia is a shoe brand that's not new to most of us. I love the fact that not only do they prioritize sustainability by primarily using recycled plastic bottles as their main source of upper material. For me, that eco-friendliness aspect is just a bonus. But more importantly, and what I care about the most, is comfort. So the fact that Vivaia invests in the comfort and the function of their designs while keeping them stylish, that to me, that just hit the trifecta right there. So when they reached out to see if I would be interested in trying some of their newer styles, I was all over it. Y'all, these have got to be the most comfortable pair of heeled boots I have ever tried on. And these are called the Amanda boot, aka their almond toe running heel boot. Now, I chose the one in gray because I'm personally having a gray moment, and while a gray cloth boot may seem scary, especially for the wet and snowy winter months, bonus points for these being water repellent. But what really intrigued me was the fact that these were called a running heel boot. That to me is a bold statement to stand behind. And while I have yet to bust into a dead sprint with these, I believe it. Like, the shaft of this is so comfy and stretchy, but more importantly, I'll put on the screen the exact type of sole it has. But this is what I mean when I say I think we should all focus on footwear that invest in comfort without sacrificing style. Now, I've already said it at the beginning and I'll say it again. Hands down, the most comfortable pair of heeled boots I have had the pleasure of wearing. You really can wear these all night and day, and you can dress them up, dress them down. Like, these are so versatile. I also picked up their super iconic, super classic Aria flats. This is in the color Nude Peach. Now, for me, these are the perfect traveling shoes because they are so lightweight and comfortable and still water resistant. It's antimicrobial. This has arch support and a heel padding back there. So again, like, all the good things, they just keep coming. But on top of all that, these are machine washable as well. So don't be scared of picking these up in some lighter colors because you can just pop them in the wash. Plus, these come in so many colors and patterns, it's insane. I guarantee you'll find the perfect pair that tickles your fancy. So again, thank you, Vivaia. I am beyond thrilled with these. I will link these below as well as my discount code. I highly recommend you check them out. And it just goes to show that, especially when it comes to footwear, I would much rather spend my money on a comfortable pair of shoes and focus on other designer categories, like these next 5 items. Although I'm sure many of you can come at me to say that these aren't worth their price tag either. But as we've all seen from the Walmart Birkin trend, worth is relative. Okay, let's get into my 5 for 2025 list. From least to most expensive, in 5th place, we have a David Yurman cable flex bracelet. Now, I went into a David Yurman store for the first time a few months ago, and I'm completely sold. Now, granted, I haven't made up my mind yet on whether I want one in stainless steel or in 18 karat gold. Also, I haven't quite decided on the type of stone either. And so depending on all of these factors, the price is going to vary from like $400 to $4,000. But this isn't something I want to buy pre-loved or even online, just because having tried on several styles in store, I just don't want to risk buying one that's not going to be the perfect fit for me. Like the difference between the extra small and small, and even like the 3mm versus the 3.5 and the 4mm, it seems minuscule, but it's night and day difference when it comes to comfort and how it actually sits on my wrist. So here's to seeing when I will have a chance to shop at David Yurman in person again to check this off the list. The 4th item is going to be a rollover item from the previous year, even though in all fairness, I did kind of check this off the list, and that is that darn Hermes Kelly pocket belt. Now, I managed to get the regular Kelly belt in gold with rose gold hardware back in Europe this summer. I know it's silly, but I still kind of want the pocket version. This time around, I think I would go for something in like white or a taupe with palladium hardware just to keep it lighter and more casual for the summer months. Now, there's a very good chance that we will be going back to Europe this year, so this may be one of those purchases that I wait to make just to save on that currency exchange and that refund. The 3rd item is also a rollover item, and at this point, I'm not even sure what my holdup is anymore, and it is the Dior Rose Devant necklace or bracelet in onyx or even lapis lazuli if I don't mind going the pre-loved route, since they don't make that latter one anymore. I'm also open to the Rose Celeste bracelet just because I like that 2-in-1 situation. Now, I'm going to leave this on the list for the nth time. I've gotten all sorts of alternatives from Etsy that I absolutely love. They are some of my most worn necklaces and bracelets, but I think eventually I still kind of want the real thing. So we'll see if 2025 is finally the year to knock this off the list once and for all. And of course, we wouldn't be true to the channel if we didn't have a bag or two on this list. So here we go. I'm going to say this now, it's only January, so this may come back to bite me in the butt, but I am going to try my darndest to only buy 2 bags this year, and I generally know what they're going to be. First is the new mini garden party in the size 23 from Hermes. When I saw Beauty Luxe Lover unbox hers that she got off the Hermes website, I knew then and there that, yep, I'm going to be stalking the website again in 2025 until I can make this bag happen. The question is, however, should I wait until they come out with a full leather version? I assume that's going to happen eventually. So do I have the patience to do that, or do I have room in my collection for maybe both? Like maybe get the canvas one this year and try my luck online for the leather one next year. Again, I don't live near an Hermes. I don't have a sales associate that I can work with, so stalking the website is the best I can do to get my hands on this bag, or wait until Europe and shoot my shot then. And last but not least, I've been hinting at this with all of my Kelly dupe purchases, but the final bag on the list that I would like to add in 2025 is a Kelly. Now, which exact Kelly, I'm not 100% sure yet. So the Kelly 28 was the original Holy Grail bag, but ever since getting my Burline coated canvas, her bag, the use case might be too similar. Now, the Kelly 25 is probably going to be the most basic, but also the most expensive version because we are going to have to do this pre-loved. But there are also so many other silhouettes to consider as well, right? Like I could go for the more cost-efficient size 35 to complement my Birkin 35 and use it for work. Again, work is one of my most prevalent ways to enjoy my designer bags. or I could go for maybe the Kelly Depeche or the Pochette or the Kelly Dons or everything and anything else in between. So all that means is that I'm going to have money earmarked for a Kelly of some sort, and hopefully when I see the right one, I'll know. So for me, this is about as realistic as a wish list can get. This is more like a shopping list at this point. 5 items for 2025. However, I do have 2 major rules and exceptions that I have set out for myself to make this more realistic and attainable. So first thing, I am going to allow myself some flexibility. So if I wanted to get something else that's not on the list, I can. Something will just have to be booted off or waitlisted for 2026. So at the end of the year, I just don't want to spend new money on more than 5 items. As in, there are some hard to find limited edition discontinued bags that I do still check in on from time to time on the pre-loved market, and if those ever were to drop at a price that I'm comfortable paying, then we're gonna have to do some reprioritizing, but you just can never truly bank on that happening. Now, my second exception is kind of related, since I can only spend new money on 5 luxury items this year. If I wanted to buy something in addition, it would have to be bought with funds earned from selling. I still owe you a video on what all I sold to get the Constance 24, but that would essentially be the process, right? So let's say if a new bag gets released this year that I just completely lose my mind over, or one of these elusive bags finally make an appearance on the pre-loved market, I would either have to bump off the mini garden party or the Kelly, or I would just have to sell off enough to cover the cost of the 3rd bag. Oh, quick caveat though, I have already bought myself a birthday bag for 2025, so that's not going to be part of this 2 bag restriction. So why am I doing this? Like I said, this is by no means a low buy year. I'm earmarking $15,000 to $16,000 for the Kelly alone, depending on the exact version I decide to get. I know that sounds crazy, but partly it's because if I do want to prioritize finally adding a Kelly, I know how easy it is to be distracted by a $1,000 or a $2,000 bag here or there. Like, that would easily cut into my Kelly money. And I recognize that I do have collector tendencies. And now that I have a Birkin and a Constance, the Kelly just feels right to add. So in 2025, I think it's time to finally go after that Kelly, even if it means slowing down everywhere else. Let me know what your shopping plans are for the year. Are you on a no buy, a low buy, none of the above, or are you aiming to be more laser focused like I am come hell or high water? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.